A blue gradient background with white text that reads, Tips for Blind Crocheters. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome if you're new, and today's video is going to be tips for blind crocheters. I am legally blind. I'm completely blind in one eye, and I have a small amount of usable vision in my right eye. I started crocheting a little over 2 years ago, and the tips for blind crocheters videos that I have found, I've only found like 3 or 4 of them across all of YouTube, and every single one of them is a good 3+ years old. So I figured I would make a newer video with some tips that have helped me to make my hobby less frustrating to me. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. So this first tip is especially helpful for beginners. Even people who've been crocheting for a long time still struggle with their chain tension. So you might notice I have 2 crochet hooks on my mat that I film with. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to use a larger hook, usually one size larger, for your chain than you would for the rest of the project. So for example, the hook that I am using is a size K, and I typically use a J hook with this yarn. So I'm going to use the K hook for my chain, and this is a good length for a sample chain, and switch out to the K hook for the rest of the project, so that whenever you get into your project, you don't have a straight project that curves like a rainbow. And also, if you're going to put a border around something, it's helpful to have those larger chains so you can work into them when you're putting the border on the project. The next tip is using a stitch marker to mark the first and last stitch of your row. So I am just going to do my single crochet like normal, and in the top of that stitch I am going to put my stitch marker, and then you just finish your row, and when you put your last stitch in, you put another stitch marker in the top of that stitch so you know where your row starts and ends. This next tip is super helpful for crocheting in the round. I struggle really hard to make a magic ring. I was finally able to actually do it with lots of assistance for the first time a couple of weeks ago. But this is a little hack that I will show you. It is really helpful for granny squares. You could use it for other projects too that require a magic ring, but I like to use it for granny squares. So you're just going to make a slip knot and do 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to slip stitch into that first chain that you made. So put the yarn in the chain and pull through both loops on the hook. And now you have a circular shape. This next tip isn't very helpful for me specifically, but I will share it anyway because it may help some of you who have a little more usable vision. Some of the people I watched suggested using thicker yarn, like bulky, and a larger crochet hook so you could see what you were doing better. Like I said, I crochet completely non-visually. I don't have a whole lot of usable vision in the first place, so this doesn't help me specifically, but hopefully it'll help some of you. This next tip is the entire reason that I'm able to crochet non-visually, and it is working your yarn with both hands. So I hold my hook closer to the head of the hook, and I wrap the yarn in between my fingers. I wrap it around my hook with my left hand and pull it through the loops with my right hand. And this is how I'm able to crochet without using any of my vision and straining my eyes. That is all for this video. If you are a blind fiber artist and you have any other tips that you find helpful, please feel free to share them in the comments. Let me know if you found this video enjoyable and helpful, and I will see you guys next video. Bye bye!